Hi everyone, it's Liz here, and I want to talk to you today about something that's, I think, a pretty important topic, and it all hinges on this book, which is called The Element. I'm not sure if you've read it, but really it is one of my favorites, and it's written by Ken Robinson. Ken Robinson is a UK, I think he's a doctor actually. He's got a PhD, but he is like somebody who commentates on education and where education is missing the mark today. And what he did to write this book is he actually went back through a whole lot of people who have struggled at school, and then he went and interviewed them. So this book, you can see I've got it earmarked, and there's lots of, doggy marked to earmarked pages in here because I absolutely love this book and I often refer to it. And a few months back, I wrote a blog about Mick Fleetwood, and it was titled, what was it titled? Now I've got to go back and see my title. It was called Musical Genius But Bad at School. And I want to read it to you today because I think you'll really enjoy it. So it starts with Mick Fleetwood, the drummer of Fleetwood Mac, is dyslexic, and he found school almost unbearable. He still can't say his alphabet today, but can he read music? No, but he can seriously drum. And it's funny, Fleetwood Mac has had a bit of a resurgence of late, and the young people of today, my daughter included, are starting to absolutely love Fleetwood Mac, and it's sort of bringing them all back and into my memory as well. But Mick Fleetwood can't say his alphabet, and he certainly can't read music, but gee, can he drum up a beat, as I said. Now, Paul McCartney, another amazing musician, he did okay at school, but he found school really uninspiring because he obviously was a very creative person. Believe it or not, he found music classes really boring, and he wasn't accepted into his school choir. They said his voice wasn't quite right. If only they knew what was to come in terms of how famous he was going to become and how many amazing songs he would write. Robbie Williams, one of my all-time favourite singers. I absolutely love Robbie Williams. Well, he failed his high school exams. He left school at the age of 16, and more recently he's actually set up a foundation at that very school to help children who are struggling at school to find and reach their goals in life. So when you speak to people who find school difficult, it's really important to ask them what they do well. This was a theme of yesterday's Facebook Live as well. There will always be something, and sometimes that thing is music. So I want to talk to you about ways that you can help aspiring musicians if they're not doing so well with reading music. One is you can enlarge the sheet of the music, so the music sheet. You can enlarge it using a photocopier. You can also use colour paper too to actually make it more accessible for them if they've got visual processing difficulties and they find glaring of the white paper too much behind the black notes. Make the paper pink, purple, blue, buff, cream, orange, any colour you like. It can really help. You can also colour code the musical notes using highlighter pens, which is something that I know has worked for many students when I get asked this question, how to help students who are struggling to read music to learn how to read it. The other thing, you can actually write, instead of having dots on lines, which can all go fuzzy and glary for children, you can actually write the notes at the top in terms of their letter forms. So there's another way that you can help children, give them a bridge of support. So many children who struggle at school have an amazing aptitude for music. In fact, I've just mentioned, well, two with Paul McCartney, who didn't really struggle at school, but he just didn't love it either. So we can still help children who want to become musicians with dyslexia or learning difficulties to do really well. And when I created the speech to spelling code, I actually made sure that I included music in it because I know how critical music is for some people. For them, it's their whole future. It becomes like Mick Fleetwood, like Robbie Williams. It becomes their entire career path. And not only that, they are so good at it. So it's really important to, I felt, to include music inside the speech to spelling code. So I used music lyrics, and I used those music lyrics and popular music videos to actually teach reading and to help children practice reading. So if that's something that you think would interest you, you can definitely have a look at a webinar about the speech to spelling code and how I've used music to actually give that bridge of support into the reading process, because I know how important that is. So music, it works for both the left and the right side of the brain. It helps to mesh the two sides together in terms of the way all the nervous messages go from one side of the brain to the other, which enhances the learning process. It's a little bit like jumping on a trampoline with both sides of your body moving. Music can do the same thing for children. So it's a great tool and a great bridge of support for learning how to read. So that's why I've included it in the speech to spelling code. I'll include a link to the webinar down below so you can have a look if you want. And I wish you and your child every success. So bye for now.